Hello there, Point Pleasant and TGIF. That's right, it's Friday, and that means another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show. I'm your favorite host, sports reporter Dominic Polio. I've got three spectacular highlights for you this week. I've got boys lacrosse, I've got baseball, and I've got softball. Just so you know, but not to get you too excited, they're all wins. That being said, we're going to jump right into boys lacrosse with the Point Borough lacrosse team who hosted Haddon Township last Thursday. Check out the highlight. It was a big win for the Point Borough boys lacrosse team in a home game against Haddon Township last Thursday. Thanks to high scorers Matt Schwartz and Kyler Rossi, the Panthers beat the Hawks 15-3. Schwartz had the first score of the game in the first minute, which I missed, but there were plenty of scores to go around. The Panthers scored 5 in the first quarter. Tanner Gordon dropped one in off of Rossi pass from behind goal. Then Darian Healy broke away and dished to Schwartz, who finished for Borough. The fifth goal of the game belonged to Trevor McNamara off an assist from Schwartz. Haddon Township managed to find a score in the final minute of the first quarter, and Borough quickly pressed the attack. They almost added another score had it not been for a clutch save from Haddon's goalie. The Hawks then kicked off the second quarter with their second goal of the game. It had no effect on Borough as McNamara took it solo for the score. Unfortunately blocked from view by a teammate here, but trust me, it went in. Kevin Bailey also had a laser of a shot for another Borough goal. Then, before halftime, Rossi notched his first of the game to give the Panthers an 8-2 lead. Out of the half, it was all Rossi and Schwartz. Rossi netted 3 consecutive goals for the Panthers, with Schwartz adding the assist on the second goal. On Rossi's third of the quarter, it was Cortland Hackle who provided the assist. Then, of course, it was Schwartz with a spectacular goal to close the third. On a pass back to goalie from a Hawks player, Schwartz swoops in, scoops the steal, and turns and shoots for the score. We'll slow it down because that's just pure speed and determination right there. Somewhere in between the Rossi-Schwartz magic, Haddon hit a pinball-style goal for their final point of the game. In the fourth quarter, Cortland Hackle got in on the action with 2 scores for Borough. On his first attempt, he catches a Haddon player in the gut, which drops him to his knees. The ball eventually ended up back with Hackle, who laid it in the goal. McNamara notched a goal in between, and Hackle had the last score on this nice turnaround bouncer. In goal for Borough was Parker Ronson, who really stepped up in the fourth quarter, making save after save to keep Haddon at only 3 goals for the day. The Panthers closed out the victory at home 15-3. A nice win for the Point Borough Panthers, and a word of advice for anybody that has to play the Point Borough boys lacrosse team: you gotta put a leash on Matt Schwartz. That kid is an absolute animal. He's on the ground, he's around the net, he's scooping up everything, and he's getting it past the goalie. Schwartz has been having a spectacular season for Borough and currently leads the team in goals. Now we're going to transition from Point Borough lacrosse to Point Borough baseball. The Panthers hosted Barnegat in their second meeting of the season. As you all know, they lost the first time the teams played each other, but the win was given to Borough on a technicality because of Jason Groom being ineligible to pitch during that game. So, the Panthers are currently undefeated, and now they have the opportunity to prove that they deserve a win against Barnegat. So, the two teams met on Monday. I've got the highlight, so sit back and check it out. After earning a win over Barnegat because of a forfeit, the Point Borough baseball team proved they could get it done on their own. The Panthers took care of the Bengals in 8 innings on Monday, 3-2. Borough scored the first run of the game in their first at-bat. Sam Monaco earned a spot on base, beating out the throw to first, which was mishandled by the first baseman. After a single to left from Bill Feehan and a walk for Frankie Graziano, the bases were juiced for Mike Falconetti. The senior hit a hard grounder to second, which Barnegat used to turn a double play. Fortunately for Borough, Monaco had made his way safely across home plate. The Panthers tacked on another run in the second inning. Thomas Paul kicked things off with a grounder to second that was fumbled by the Barnegat infielder. During a long at-bat for Monaco, Paul managed to make his way all the way to third. Monaco then hit a shallow fly out to left field, just a little too shallow for Paul to reach home. No worries though, as Feehan was up to bat. The lefty hit a single the opposite way in the gap and plated Paul for the 2-0 lead. Burrow held that lead for the majority of the game. Josiah Glidden was slinging strikes from the rubber, and any contact made by the Barnegat batters were taken care of by that Point Burrow defense. Glidden was clinging to a no-hitter into the 7th, but couldn't keep it any longer. Barnegat's pitcher Jared Caxco broke up the streak with a single to right field. The hit sparked a Barnegat rally, which was highlighted by a 2-run double off the bat of Nick Caputo to tie the game. Burrow escaped the inning without further damage on a ground out to second. They had an opportunity to score in the bottom of the 7th, but left 2 runners stranded in scoring position, sending the game to overtime. On the mound in the 8th inning was Burrow's Tim Rossi. The righty fanned one batter, and a fly out to Graziano out in center field, and a ground out to Mark Leibel at third kept the game tied. In the bottom of the 8th, Sebastian Severo jump-started the Panthers with a long ball to the center field fence. It went for a double, and pinch runner Mike Waddleton replaced Severo at second. On a play where Barnegat's catcher tried to pick off Waddleton at second, the Panther decided to steal third instead. He slid safely into third, and with no outs, Burrow had 3 chances to win the game. Rossi battled at the plate, but eventually struck out. Then up to bat came Patrick Feehan, who played hero for the boys in black. The lefty jacked a high fly ball to center field, which Barnegat caught with ease. In came the throw, but Waddleton was well across the plate as the Burrow team rushed Feehan to celebrate the win. Burrow remained undefeated with the 3-2 extra inning victory at home. And there you have it, an exciting win for Point Burrow to keep their winning streak alive. And then on Wednesday, the team topped Central Regional to remain undefeated. It's been a heck of a season for Burrow so far. Back to the game against Barnegat, everything was on point. Josiah Glidden on the mound pitched a spectacular game. Tim Rossi comes in and closes out that 8th inning for the Panthers. And then the defense. The defense was especially on point. The infield, the outfield, all the balls were getting in the gloves, all the throws were on target. Everybody remained calm and did their job. When it came to the batter's box, everyone was patient. Everyone waited for their pitch. Everyone hit the ball where it needed to be hit, and the big hits came through when the time was right. Waddleton with that gutsy steal of third, and then that big hit from Patrick Feehan. Just a all-around deserved win for the Point Burrow Panther baseball team. Now, sticking with the theme of strong bats and even stronger defense, we're going to switch over to Point Beach softball. The team traveled to play St. Rose on Wednesday for their second meeting of the season. Last time the two teams played, St. Rose topped Point Beach 7-5. Let's see how the Garnet Gulls turn things around. The Point Beach softball team avenged an earlier season loss with a 12-0 shutout victory over St. Rose on the road Wednesday. And while the offense was lively, the game featured plenty of strong defense from the Garnet Gulls. Offensively, Beach got started in the first inning. Katie Renaro opened the game with a double to center field, and Kylie Kells beat out a throw on a slow grounder for the RBI single that scored Renaro. Then it was a triple to center from Jillian Lamb, which scored Kells. Beach's third run was batted in on a sacrifice fly down the first base line from Sarah Scott. The score remained the same all the way through the fourth inning. Michaela Hughes played with a big glove at short, securing grounders and outs with timely throws to first. In the bottom of the fourth, St. Rose had a potential big hit to shallow center, which outfielder and senior Ashley Kelly tracked down and secured. In the fifth, Kelly was the run that scored for Beach. She kicked things off with a line drive to center field before stealing second, sliding under the close tag here. Kells hit a fly out to center, but Kelly tagged up and made her way safely to third base. Then it was Scott at the plate again with a big hit up the middle that plated Kelly. but the senior was not quite finished for the Gulls. In the 6th inning, Beach loaded the bases and Kelly cranked a hard grounder between short and third that went for a 2-run double. In the bottom of the inning, St. Rose generated some offense and had runners in scoring position, but Beach's defense hung tough. Kells recorded a strikeout, and Hughes collected 2 grounders at short to close out the inning without any damage. In the 7th inning, Beach exploded from the batter's box. A single from Lamb and a walk for Scott put 2 runners on base to start. Then Alex Barnes hit an RBI single to the grass, and the Gulls were just getting warmed up. After another walk that loaded the bases, Hughes stepped into the box. The freshman has a big bat and jacked a high fly ball to deep center field. It came up just short of a grand salami, but Hughes ended up on second, and 3 runs scored for Beach. The Gulls' final 2 runs came on passed balls from the St. Rose pitcher. Hughes stole on a ball in the dirt as Renaro moved to third. On the very next pitch, the toss was high, and Renaro took a long slide into home for Beach's 12th run of the game. The defense completed the shutout in the bottom of the inning. The first out was a ground out to Scott at third with a nice throw to first. Then it was Hughes at short for the second out. Kells closed out the inning and the game with a strikeout as Beach came home with the 12-0 victory. Put it in the books. That was the 3rd shutout win the Garnet Gulls had this past week. Big games from Kelly, Hughes, Scott, Kells, all around. Just everything working for Point Beach. Those are the only 3 highlights I have for you guys for this week. I hope you enjoyed them. They were all great games. As you know, there are always more stories in the actual sports section of the Ocean Star newspaper. So make sure you pick up today's copy. That's April 29th, 2016, and you give that sports section a good read. The front page features a really sweet article on Point Borough's Matt Solzer, a junior who recently competed in the CrossFit Open, placing 14th worldwide. Make sure you give that one a good read. He's a good kid. Now, as always, you can follow me on Twitter at Dom Polio. That's at DOMPOLLIO. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the show. It's always a pleasure to be here and share in these sporting endeavors with you. For now, you're going to have to wait till next week for another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show. I'll return as your beloved host. Signing off for Star News Group, I'm Dominic Polio, wishing you a great weekend.